the other day, I was reading quotes on, I think it was on Pinterest probably, and I came across a quote that really stood out to me, and I was like, you gotta make a video about this. I just felt it like in my soul. And it said the following. It said, it's not always them. Sometimes it's you. Okay? I know we don't like to hear that, but sometimes it is. Take time to work on yourself. Learn who you are and what it is that you want so that you are able to recognize when your own behavior is toxic. And I was like, you know what? So many times I hear from different people, right? Whether it's a social media video that I see or actual people that I know in real life, playing the blaming game too much. I'm not in a good place because of this. It's their fault. Everything is everybody else's fault but theirs. And quite frankly, I think it's time that as mature adults, we start taking responsibility and accountability for where we're at in our life fully, beginning today. So if you can identify with any of the 4 points I talk about today, you're probably not taking accountability for your life. Let's start with this one, right? This is way too common and we see it all the time. Everything you go through is always someone else's fault. You 1,000%, not even 100, you 1,000% blame everybody for everything. You're not where you should be in life because your mom did something to you in your childhood. Your ex did you dirty, therefore this is why you're in the position you're in. It's time that you stop and flip it and say, you know what, maybe what I went through in my life, I needed to go through to get me to the position that I'm in right now, to get me to this exact point. Because have you ever stopped to think like maybe where you're at right now in your life is exactly where you're supposed to be? So take accountability, like, you know what? I chose him. I chose her. I chose to stay in this relationship longer than I knew I should have. I chose to take this person back. I chose to get into business with this person. I chose to tolerate the abuse, right? So the excuse of it's everybody else's fault, truthfully speaking, it gets old. It gets real old. There's nothing like saying, you know what? I'm gonna take accountability for this. I'm gonna accept my L's, right? Because sometimes life throws you L's and a situation could be a total loss, but it's never a loss. It is always a lesson. So stop externalizing the blame on everybody else and sit there in your power and say, you know what? I may be the cause of this because I allowed it. Another sign that you may not be taking full accountability for where you're at in your life is, oh my gosh, you probably know somebody like this. You love rehashing old conversations. You love bringing up old shit. And this is ridiculous. If you are gonna choose to continue to be dating somebody or continue to be married to somebody or continue to be in business with somebody, it's your choice. It's your choice. And you know, when they say you forgive a situation, like I forgive, but I don't forget. Okay, I get it. We all get it. There's a lot of us that may forgive and may not forget. But that doesn't mean that every opportunity that you have to bring up old conversations from the past. Well, you did, remember when you did this to me? Well, you're lucky I'm with you because, you know, I could have walked away from you. Well, you could have, should have, would have, but you didn't. So stop bringing up old shit. That after a while is gonna annoy somebody. It's gonna drive somebody away. And it's just like, it gets old, right? Stop bringing up and rehashing old conversations that should have been buried. If you continue to intermingle with a certain person, it's because you chose to truly forgive. So, hey, if those old thoughts creep into your head, pray about it. Or maybe ask yourself, why am I still in this situation if it bothers me that much and I constantly want to bring this up? Ask yourself that. That's part of taking full accountability. Self-questioning yourself. I won't deny though that some conversations are definitely worth bringing back up, right? But maybe for like a lesson or maybe to share a success story, some conversations are worthy of bringing back up. But just rehashing old conversations, painful stuff that we've gone through as business partners, as a couple, doing that constantly, it's gonna get old. Here's another good one. You have only acquaintances but no friends, right? Like you don't let anybody in, and because it's like, where's your vulnerability? You're not willing to be vulnerable because somewhere along the line, somebody told you that being vulnerable is a sign of weakness. And I will forever be thankful to a friend that taught me that vulnerability is truly, it's a characteristic of the strong, right? When you're able to be vulnerable in certain moments around certain people, because let's be honest, you don't want to be vulnerable around everybody. Not everybody is worth seeing that side of you, truthfully. But if you only have acquaintances and no friends, you may be the problem, right? There may be a reason why nobody wants to get close to you. You're just prancing around through life, blaming everything on everybody, and you're probably one of those people that's like, I don't need friends. Who needs friends? Listen, you guys, when you really nourish amazing friendships, it is one of the most beautiful feelings in the world to be able to say, you know, this person has known me for 20 years. This person has known me for 10 years and we're solid, right? We pick up right where we left off. So that's another sign of you not taking full accountability and responsibility in your life when you only have acquaintances but no friends. That's nothing to be proud of. There's nothing like a beautiful, solid ass friendship. Another sign, there's always so much drama. Like every season of your life is not a sitcom, y'all. It doesn't have to have like a dramatic season ending, right? Do you know someone that's like that? Like everything is so dramatic and extra and over the top. Take accountability. Not everything has to be dramatic. Say what you mean what you say, don't say it mean. I have friends that I may not talk to anymore, or people that were my friends, and you just end it amicably. Not everything has to be so dramatic all the time, because that gets old. It starts to feel toxic after a while. Like, man, there goes another season of her life and she ended it with a bang. And it's just like, people will sit there and just observe and say, you know, that's not somebody I want to be like. It's not, you know, there's people in your life that either you learn from and you say, I like that, I admire that. Always consider the source. Or there's also people in your life, or there has been people in your life, and you think to yourself, they were in my life to show me what I don't want to be like, or what I don't want my life to look like. Not everything has to be dramatic. Relax, step into your power. There's nothing like stepping into your power and taking full accountability for your life, where you're at, and saying, you know what, where I'm headed to next is up to me. I have the choice to choose to move in a toxic way or to move in a healthy way. And let me tell you, there's a big difference. And your life is a result, and it will show how you're moving, whether you're moving toxically or whether you're moving in a healthy way. And there's nothing like having peace of mind and to be able to sleep at night, because you're saying, you know what, where I'm at in my life is exactly where I choose to be in my life. I hope you love this video. I had this like urge and this itch to talk about this just because I'm pretty sick and tired of meeting people, or of people that I know talking about it's his fault, it's her fault. And I was actually having a conversation with a friend the other day, and I was letting her talk, and I was just letting her talk. And sometimes when you're just that person that just listens, you know, learning how to listen without respond, you're just able to hear like, wow, this person is really in a rat race in their own head. And she paused, and I said, you know what, Mama, I really think that you're the problem here. And I was really serious, and she knew that. So I feel like at that moment I was able to be a mirror for her. And I hope that this video is exactly that for you. Like, you know what? This is exactly what I needed to hear right now in my life, because I am blaming fulanita, menganita for where I'm at in my life. And really, that happened 5 years ago. It's not their fault, right? Sometimes tragic, crazy, out of the blue shit happens, but everything passes. And you have the choice to either live in that space or keep it moving. And if you know me, I'm the queen of keeping it moving. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment below. I love you. And let me know if you are a person that takes accountability for your life or you're out there blaming the whole world for everything. If you are, I hope this video woke you up. Okay, you gotta go. I gotta go.